Welcome to another edition of The Ride Home with John and Kathy, live from the Salem-Pittsburgh studios. And now, here are your hosts, John Hall and Kathy Emmons.
Hey, good afternoon. Greetings to you. Thanks for being with us here. It's a gorgeous day, a gorgeous Thursday afternoon across Western Pennsylvania. Kath, good to see you as well. All is good for you?
Yes.
Fabulous.
Yes, we're just taking in the extra innings for the Buccos on television right now, and we're knotted up at 7.
Yeah, with the new rule changes, which are very strange.
I hate those rule changes.
What is the deal?
That was a COVID thing. So there were 2 rule changes that I remember. The one is that the Blair starts on second. Right. And the other one is that
DH.
Well, it was DH, but the bigger, well, not as big, is the whole thing about double headers only being 6
7
innings. No, 6. Was it 6? I think it was 6 innings.
Can they screw
whatever
it up anymore?
it was horrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, they changed that one back.
Okay.
So now double headers are actually double headers, which is good, but they're still keeping this runner at second.
Yeah, but the deal is, though, double headers really aren't double headers. Because,
I know, you have to go out and come back in.
Well, that's not a double header. Those are 2 single games.
Well, but it's worse having 2 games. So what's better is that you have to leave in the middle and you only saw 6 or 7 innings of baseball?
It's very strange.
And what happened to all the stats?
I don't know. It's all backwards.
It is all backwards.
Anyway, thanks for coming along.
Yeah, if you were at part of the game today, or maybe you're just watching it on TV, or maybe you're going to watch it tonight, then we're going to stop talking about it. If
What?
You're gonna
No
watch
spoiler alerts? Oh, come on.
We have to be able to get. Sorry, you're just going to have to close your ears.
Right, you're not tuning in to hear the baseball from us.
Right, exactly.
Right.
But
Tom Lewis is, though.
Tom Lewis is, because we've taken in a lot of baseball together.
Excited. I actually Googled the score before we went
I love
on.
that about you.
I'm really a little stunned.
Stunned?
At the loss that happened.
What do you mean?
The Bucs lost the Cubs.
We didn't lose. Well,
yes.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Okay, that was
not today's game.
Okay, that was
yesterday.
horrible. Last night.
What happened with that?
Well, we brought up a brand new pitcher who had never pitched in the major. He made his major league debut last night, and I'm sorry to say that he gave up 10 runs in 4 innings.
But here's the thing. Somebody said today, I laughed. They said, "Do you realize that's 2 touchdowns that they scored?" I said, "Come on."
It's rough.
I don't like how he's laughing,
cracked me up. Anyway, 14, right?
14.
And extra points. I know.
That's rough, Tom.
So
that's okay.
amazing.
Today's a new day.
Yeah, new day. Turn the page.
Well, we'll see what happens later, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, guys, let me give you a score. Let me give you the update score for our Cross International campaign this week.
Yeah.
We actually have made some progress today. We're grateful, thankful, but still 210 children to go to hit our minimum threshold. And so, don't swallow hard. It's there, and friends are there, and they're excited to give. We've actually seen a lot of calls and web gifts today. So right out of the chute, let me give you a phone number. It's 866-806-2977. Go ahead. Don't just write it down. Go ahead and call it. 866-806-2977. And what's so amazing is, guys, that one-time gift again of $64 for each child provides food for a year, clean water, Christian education, spiritual development, lots of other life-saving resources. Really brings them life in every aspect, spirit, soul, and body.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that so much about this gift. Powerful gift. So today, 2 children to help us finish is a $128 gift. 5 children, $320. You decide. It's however many kids times $64. I will tell you, we had a great friend. He is a regular partner that this morning stepped up with 50 children.
Wow.
50.
Fabulous.
And so we thank God for our friend Pete.
Wow.
But maybe there's someone this afternoon that could give a gift for 50 or 100 children to really make an impact in our campaign this week. As I shared this morning with Kenny and this afternoon with Gary, guys, I was asking Kenny this morning, he carried a little boy across his footbridge in Guatemala, and it was one of the scariest footbridges I've ever walked on in my life, coming out of the mountains across this really wide river. And we got across, and I said to Kenny, thank God you carried that little boy. Because, it was one of those things where there was a slat about every foot and a half that you had to navigate. And between the slat was nothing but air, right? And we're coming across this thing, and Kenny carried this little boy that was really struggling, near death, had a lot of issues. And I asked Kenny this morning, did you remember his name? And right away, he said yes. His name was Elvin. And you know what? I said, good. I'm so glad you remembered his name. And I knew he would because of the impact that little guy made on Kenny. But my point was simply this, guys, and I want to say this to you. Every child you rescue has a name, has a story, and what's so amazing about this gift that you're giving today, you're rewriting their story. From a story of hopelessness, a story of hunger, a story of being kicked aside and not even cared about, often stories of children being thrown away. And you take that story, and with your 2-minute call and your one-time love gift, you're rewriting the story of children. I cannot stress to you how important it is that you grab a hold of that and that you're rewriting stories for these children. How many children's stories can you rewrite? Could it be 2 for $128? I'm talking about their whole life story being rewritten, their story for eternity being rewritten. 5 children, a $320 gift. Wow. When you think about that and you think about the eternal impact, guys, I believe our phones should be just flooded with friends saying, I'm going to give for 2 and 3 and 5 kids. That one friend that can give for 100 children, a $6,400 Kingdom Impact gift. Think of the impact on 100 kiddos. I was thinking about Pete earlier, gave for 50, the impact for 50 children and their testimony and how that's going to spread like wildfire. But I also think of the one friend who gave for 1 child and the impact of that child's testimony. The number 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977. John, Kath, I'm not sure how much time we have left in this first segment.
We're good, Tommy.
If you want to hold for the story or if you want to go ahead, but I do have a story ready, impact story.
No, you go right ahead.
A child that was rescued.
Please do.
I'm going to give you the number. It's 866-806-2977. And this story, guys, is just, it's amazing to me. And I shared it, I think, with you guys yesterday. A medical nurse there in Haiti that's one of our partners, works at one of our partner clinics, and just serving a lot of children, a lot of families. And she had walked to the clinic 10 years to and from this massive garbage dump. And she said, you know, Tommy, I walked by the dump. I saw the same thing every day. I'd see kids in there. I'd see dogs in there. And she said, every day, guys, she said, when I look in there, I would see dogs tussling with children over things like a chicken bone.
Wow.
Or some kind of a food scrap that the dog wanted as badly as the child did. And it was this tussle going back and forth. And she said, one day, the Lord stopped me and the Holy Spirit just said, go in. She said, I walked in and I began to pray, Lord, what would you have of me? And she said, suddenly, nearby where she was standing, the garbage was moving, and she went over and kind of separated the garbage, and there she discovered a little girl, a baby girl, she said about 10 days to 2 weeks old, tops. And she was near death. She rescued her up and ran to the clinic, which she said was about still a mile off. Now, I don't know how long it'd take you guys to run a mile. It'd take me about a half a day. Just saying. And so, but she ran the rest of the way to the clinic, and they were able to save her life. And Nika today is thriving. Her name is Nika. Beautiful, beautiful little girl. And I thanked her, John, Kath. I thanked her because I said, you listen to the voice of God, and because you did, I'm holding a precious little girl whose life was rewritten. Her story is rewritten because she did something that day that was directed by God. And my friend, the message is for you and for me today to do something that the Lord is directing our hearts to do. And that is to lift up the little ones in the name of Christ. How many can you help? 866-806-2977. 2977, 866-806-2977. Listen, we cannot afford to walk by and say, Lord, not me. Not me. We have to do this. As a Christ follower, as a Christian, we've got to stand up for these little ones who have no one to stand up for them. Together, let's rewrite their stories, gang. We love you guys. Word FM family. 866-806-2977, or John and Kath, they can jump on the web and make their gift right there.
Fabulous.
I love that. Let's rewrite some stories today.
Yep. We are on the precipice of a cataclysmic change across America. We are. We know this is coming, whether it's today or tomorrow. I mean, we do believe that the unimaginable, the impossible is about to happen, which is the country's going to roll back abortion, which is unbelievable. To think about this. All these children. And now, if we are pro-life, we are excited about what's about to happen, then let's put our best foot forward and say, yes, we can take care of a child who is already here and just wanting to thrive. Won't you be pro-life in that message? And join us at 866-806-2977. It's our final hour and 40 minutes with Tom Lewis from Cross International. Don't miss this blessing. Join us, 866-806-2977, or online at wordfm.com.
101.5 WORD.
Like a beautiful garden, a healthy marriage requires hard work and consistent care. This week on Truth for Life, we'll find out how to protect our marriages by establishing boundaries. We'll also learn some helpful principles to prevent marital failure. That's our focus on Truth for Life with Alistair Begg.
Tomorrow morning at 6 on 101.5 WORD.
The word around town is that Pittsburgh homeowners are choosing doing it right when it comes to their roofing, siding, and remodeling projects.
That's because since 1984, Doing It Right roofing, siding, remodeling continues to set the bar through clear communication and an installation that's second to none.
Doing it right employs only the most experienced professionals to install and oversee your project.
They'll stop at nothing to ensure your satisfaction, doing business honestly, taking no money down and no payment until the job is complete.
Doing it right will ensure that all work is installed to the industry's highest standards. Then back it all up with their lifetime workmanship warranty.
As a prestigious multi-award-winning Owens Corning Platinum contractor, as well as a VSI certified installation contractor, you can't go wrong with Doing It Right.
Mention John and Kathy for a discount off your estimate.
Call 724-NEW-ROOF for a free project evaluation or visit roofingcontractorpittsburgh.com.
Want it done right, call Doing It Right.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-928-3355. That's 1-800-928-3355. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-928-3355. That's 1-800-928-3355.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
The uh-ohs are out there. Scratches, dents, unexpected natural events. But with Maaco and their magic, your car is no longer tragic. So when life throws you uh-ohs, just say, better get Maaco. And go to Maaco.com to book your appointment today.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the woots. Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm from Connecticut, and I lived in Haiti for 19 years. So I know what it's like to be here, and I know what it's like to be there. If you're poor in America, it's tough, but you can find help. There are ways to not die, I think, for the most part, that I've lived through. I was a nurse in a soup kitchen, and I was a nurse in hospitals. And in Haiti, if you're poor, and you can't get what you need. There is nothing, and you die. An hour and a half from Miami, children are starving, and it just can't go on. God's watching this, and we have to do something. To whom much is given, much is expected.
We often talk about the social safety net, and say what you will about government. Of course, there's a lot to say about that. But the social safety net that it happens here in the United States truly saves millions of lives. There's no doubt about that.
Does.
Tom Lewis is with us from Cross International. Tom, that's a very compelling piece of audio. Please tell us about that person.
Well, a dear friend of ours, and she, as you heard, she lived here in the United States, but is now serving in Haiti. In fact, has been there well over 20 years now. And God just called her. Her name is Betty. And God called her to Haiti, and she's doing an amazing job. She's a medical nurse and doing amazing things. But our friends like that are reporting back saying, look, there's so many more things that we must do, so many more issues. A lot of these issues caused by the earthquakes that hit, especially in Haiti, over the last year. There's been a number of 4 of them, in fact. And, we don't hear about them in our news or very little. The 2 hurricanes that impacted Guatemala, we just don't hear it. They came and went and, no big deal. Well, though they were a big deal. They were Katrina-size hurricanes that wiped out entire communities with mudslides and all kinds of issues. And, it's tough for these people on a good day. It's tough for the children on a good day. And it's a nightmare now. And you know what happens when you come along and you share your best gift, whatever that is, for one child or 101? Children's lives are impacted, and for all eternity. Why? Because your gift feeds them for a full year. Yes. Your gift helps provide a lot of different varying resources, medical and building supplies, and all these things that families need. But one of the greatest parts of your gift is the spiritual development and Christian education that comes. So would you be a partner with us on our final day, final program, 866-806-2977. I do want to say thank you to some friends who got us where we're at and a couple of brand new friends. Let me give you the number again, 866-806-2977. When we started the program, we still needed about 210 children to finish our need this week, the need. So I want to say thanks to Margaret in Elwood City. Margaret, God bless you, giving for 3 kids. Scott in Pittsburgh said yes to a child. And Diane is a brand new friend, just gave us a call. Diane, thank you. In Monongahela, I love saying that one. How'd I do? Did I do okay?
You did fine.
Great. Evidently, it wasn't perfect, but it's close. So I want to say thanks to Diane. Thanks to Joseph, it looks like in Ford City. Thank you for your gift. God bless you. And Stephen in Monroeville, thank you. And also Connie in Jones. Is it Jones Mills? It's abbreviated.
Never heard
so
of
I'm not
Jones
sure.
Mills.
Yeah. And so thank you. That's 3 more children. And Diane, thank you in Mount Pleasant for a gift for 3 kiddos. So those are friends who have got us to where we're at right now.
Fabulous.
And we've got about 208 children left. How many of those could you rescue? 866-806-2977. Hey, could we feed 100 kids this hour? And I'm thinking about 25 friends, as an idea, 25 of you, with a $256 gift. All right? That's 4 children for a full year, everything they need, including education, Christian education, other resources, food for a year. So, guys, I wonder, could you be one of 25 to give for 4? Maybe, again, there's a friend that would step up and match what our friend did this morning, Pete, in New Kensington, and say, you know what, Pete did it, I'll do 50. But, guys, here's the thing. I want to ask one more real quick. And then I'm going to let you jump in here. I want to ask the Lord for our remaining 9 world changers. These are friends that can give a $1,000 gift or more in this final program that we have. You guys know me, all the years that we have partnered, I always ask for 12. And the reason I ask for 12 is in honor of the 12 disciples. who, if you study their life, really did heavy lifting spreading the gospel. Amen?
Mm-hmm, for sure.
They really did heavy lifting. And I just urge you, if you can be one that would do some extra heavy lifting for these children, would you do it right now with a World Changer gift of 1,000 or more? Looking for 9 more. We've had 3 this week in our campaign. And I believe the Lord's got 9 more of you listening. The time is now. If you waited till the 3rd day to give, and that's great. I love you folks that wait till the 3rd day. I'd wait till the 3rd day because I like a big ending. So if that's you, 866-806-2977, 866-806-2977. WordFM.com is a great way to give. And by the way, just have your credit card ready. It's so easy. And by the way, your resources that you give today, your gift, it goes to work immediately when you use your credit card. That's what's so awesome. And those resources are directed right to our partners. There is no government intervention at all. None. Zero. And that's one of the beautiful things about Cross International. Work direct with our partners on the ground. That's in all the nations we work with. So not just Haiti, not just Guatemala and Nicaragua. We ship direct the resources, the food, the supplies, everything they need. So guys, what are you waiting for? Now's the time. 866-806-2977, wordfm.com. John, Kath, let's see if we can get at least 3 or 4 of those World Changers here this hour. Wouldn't that be great?
Sure would be. Fabulous. Give us those World Changers or else in between, everything else in between. A one-time gift of $64 feeds a child. A World Changer gift of about $1,200 feeds 20 kids and educates those kids for the full year. As Tommy said, someone joined us earlier today for 50 kids. Where are you on this entire spectrum? Please. Our final day on air with Cross International, the excellence of this ministry. Join us right now at 866-806-2977. Our final day, 866-806-2977. Of course, online at wordfm.com. Tom, I don't know if this is you, Kath, and your family as well. Our kids were home recently. They're away at college. They come home. What do we do? From time to time, one of the guys goes, one of our boys goes, could we pull out the photo albums? And then we'll sit on the couch and open those things up. And one of the pictures early on, one of the pictures struck me. My wife is standing there and holding up her hand with 5. She's holding up 5 fingers, and her belly is starting to come on. First time she was pregnant with our first baby, and she's saying, "I'm 5 months pregnant." And then you look over at the end of the couch, and you see your kid, and you think, he's a lot bigger than 5 months now. And
no kidding.
And a lot has gone on. And I remember being, soon to be father, and thinking in my mind, who is in there? What's going to happen? Who will that person be? How will they reveal themselves? What experiences, joys, and hopes, and aspirations, dreams that are yet to unfold inside my wife's belly? And here, 24 years later, you see it. You see the glory of God and God's plan, right on the couch with you. It's just so humbling. And, of course, you see all your photographs of your babies, and they go on, and the memories are just outstanding. The majority of them are. And God is so good and faithful. So all these kids we're talking about today, these kids in Haiti, I mean, I guarantee you, very few of them have, photo albums whenever they were growing up. These kids are the castaways, the poorest of the poor, by far. And like Tommy said, there's no safety net here for these kids. What's happening right now for the future of these children is you and I. This is the future.
Amen.
So as we move forward, we say, I can do this. I got a kid for a year. I got $64, or I got a life-changing gift, a lifesaver gift of $1,000, or whatever. But the future is now for these kids. And so if not us, then what? And then they become, a societal problem, or the land of broken dreams, or you know how that is. untapped potential is waiting for us. And we can turn that key on that untapped potential. So please, our final day on the air with Cross International, $64 for a child, for 2 kids, $128, for 5 kids, $320, $1,000, that life-changing gift. Join us. 866-806-2977, 866-806-2977, or online at wordfm.com.
Hi, I'm John Henney from Henney Jewelers. Since 1887, my family has helped people celebrate the most memorable moments in their lives. We are rooted in faith and commit to doing the right thing again and again. We believe in the covenant of marriage and use our To Have and To Hold program to encourage couples as they prepare to spend the rest of their lives together. Please stop into our Shadyside store to learn more or visit HenneyJewelers.com. Henney Jewelers, your jewelers for life.
This is Kathy Emmons. John and I are grateful for the encouragement we have from all of our advertisers and especially our friends at Grove City College. Thanks to everyone at Grove City for supporting The Ride Home.
If you are 65 or older, you know this. It's really frustrating to deal with out-of-pocket medical expenses, watching your hard-earned dollars just flying out the window. Well, here's something that can really help, and it's worth taking a minute to look into. Medi-Share has a new option called Medi-Share 65 Plus. Medi-Share is a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills, and it really is a community. People encourage and pray for each other. And Medi-Share 65 Plus is a low-cost option for those with Medicare Parts A and B that fills in the gaps where Medicare stops. You can lock in one low monthly price for up to 10 years. It's great for peace of mind. And you can use your Medicare-approved doctor and get prescription savings, dental and vision savings. Very worth looking into, and it's so easy to find out why people rave about the customer service at Medi-Share. They're great to talk to on the phone. Here's the number. Call 833-SHARE-55. That's 833-SHARE-55. 833-SHARE-55.
It's a very common fear to have a fear of the dentist.
There's a reason patients love Dr. Megan Stock, voted Pittsburgh Trib's best of the best dentist in Northern Allegheny County for the 2nd year in a row.
I feel particularly drawn to making sure that all patients are at ease. That extra gentle touch, the extra nudge to tell them it's okay, we'll get through this together.
Exceptional dentistry meets compassionate care. Stock Family Dentistry, Perry Highway in Wexford, at stockfamilydentistry.com.
What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries starting at just $79.99. And they've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
We are everywhere on your radio at 101.5 WORD FM Pittsburgh, at wordfm.com, the Word FM mobile app, iHeart, TuneIn, and Odyssey.
It's a great time of year to be outdoors, fishing in local streams, splashing through creeks. We all assume these waters are safe, but for most streams, no one knows. That's a problem we can do something about. The Isaac Walton League of America can help us get started, from stream cleanups to simple water quality tests. Visit IWLA.org today. That's IWLA.org.
Clear skies expected for tonight with a low of 56. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. Tomorrow's high 83. Clear skies tomorrow night with a low of 60. Saturday will be warm with plenty of sunshine. We'll reach a high Saturday of 88. Mainly clear Saturday night, low 68. Intervals of clouds and sun for Sunday. It'll be warm and more humid with a thunderstorm in the area, mainly later, the high 85. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Drew Shannon.
Conversion, nous tout dans la vie à déconverti, pas faire rebelle, pas négliger, encourager ensemble. Non, c'est là nous pour réjouir, on fait l'ensemble. C'est le changement d'opinion, spécialement salation de ces convertis. Chouni jodi, à Matis pour Christ, frère, mouvement de yo. Yo pas pour moi, yo cause en mime te fait yo. Yo pas les mains derrière, yo pas m'ke pour venir, frère Maxime, qui veut faire pas la guerre.
How you guys like that?
Whoa, that's super cool. Okay, is that Creole?
That's Creole. And this young boy was actually viewed by all the kids at this Divine Shelter Christian school. They're like, this kid's going to be the next Christian rock star of Haiti. And I mean, it was really interesting. And so they invited him to come up and start singing. This was actually a song that this kid wrote and came up with. And I said to the head schoolmaster that was there, I said, wow, what's the song about? And what was interesting first is the head schoolmaster there was actually a child that was rescued and is now the director at this Divine Shelter school.
Wow.
Yes, he was a rescued child.
That's cool.
He was an orphan, you guys, and he's married. He's got a beautiful wife, and they're just dear friends. And of course, Divine Shelter School, John, as you know, is a great partner.
Sure is.
With us. But anyway, he said this kid, once when he got saved and he received Jesus, he wrote this song about how his Savior died on a cross just for him, and how his Savior died on the cross just for you. I mean, it was just awesome. And so that was his rap song, and it went on for a couple, 2-3 minutes or hours. I forget. It was really long. But, I mean, the kids just clapped and clapped and clapped. They loved him. Point is this. Here's a child whose life was impacted for all of eternity. All of eternity. And I just thank God that somebody like you stepped up so that this young boy now has a chance. And by the way, he's a very smart student. Mm-hmm. Guys, I just urge you, because this transformation is real. This is not a Band-Aid approach to poverty. This is not a food drop. This is not, we're going to build a few houses. There is a name for every child that we're rescuing this week. Our partners in Haiti and Guatemala and Nicaragua know where they're at specifically. They know the most critical need children and their families, if they do have a family. Many are orphans, as I shared earlier. So I pray that, guys, you'll not let another moment go by if you're listening. Just interrupt what you're doing. It's about 2 minutes to literally save a child's life. 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977. WordFM.com. How much is it? What's the Kingdom investment? $64. Mm-hmm. You can't go to McDonald's with your family and hardly get out of there for $64.
Not anymore.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, guys, if you compare the impact, right? Food for a year, Christian education, spiritual development, so many other resources. Oh, by the way, we don't talk enough about clean water. Clean water in areas that need it so desperately. So would you help right now, please? 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977. I want to give you an update. We had just a couple of friends jump on with us.
Fabulous.
And you can make a call. Seriously, guys, I know you got a busy day, so it's only about a 2-minute phone call. You can also go on the web, and that's easy to do. So we've gotten a start. We need to be under 200 kids to go just really quickly. And then a number of you, you know what, John, Kath, how about this? Are there some of you that could take 10 children? And before you swallow hard, let me give you a way that maybe you could do this. You say, Tommy, that's $640. Yes. Tax-deductible gift, yes. You could do it one time on your credit card. Maybe you say, you know what, I could do $320 this month and $320 next month. Or maybe you say, you know, I'd like to rescue 10. I could rescue 2 a month for 5 months. Or maybe you'd say, how about 1 a month for 10 months?
Yeah.
You can do that. So get creative. I love creativity and giving. 866-806-2977 or John Kath, WordFM.com. Let's get her rolling.
It also seems to me, Tom, and this is just a guess, but I guess I'm speaking out of how I personally feel, that there are so many negative things going on in the world right now. You look at an issue like poverty in Nicaragua, Guatemala, Haiti, Central America, and you think it's too big of a problem. I can't possibly fix it. I can't do anything about it. And that's why I loved hearing the voice of that kid at the start of this segment, because it just reminds me that it's an individual we're talking about. And if we get stuck on the big number, then we're overwhelmed because we think, what's the point?
Can't do it.
So if we could just do one thing for one kid, right? That would be a place to start. And if you have enough resources where you can do 100 things for 100 of these kids, then please do it. But if you only have enough for one kid, don't be overwhelmed by the meta and focus on the immediate. 866-806-2977 or wordfm.com.
We need to step away, so please, won't you join us? This is our final day on air with Tom Lewis from Cross International. This is a ministry we partnered with here at Word FM for many, many years. And because of your kindness and generosity, thousands of lives have been changed. We're asking for just a few more. Stay with us.
101.5 WORD.
Plan now to join Word FM Tuesday, August 16th aboard the Gateway Clippers Empress for another fabulous dinner cruise. From 6:30 to 9, relax in the company of fellow believers as you enjoy a fantastic dinner buffet, music, and stunning views of the city skyline. The Ride Home's John and Kathy will be your cruise directors for this amazing night, sponsored by Trinity Jewelers. Don't miss the boat. Last year's event completely sold out. Reserve now at wordfm.com/dinner cruise.
So my sister and I, that's me, are into dominoes. There's this fancy domino TV show, and we are destined to be on that show. Uncle Ryan, though,
That's me.
has a hand that shakes like a jackhammer. The dude can't get 10 dominoes before his dreams come toppling down.
Luckily, there was one positive that came from my domino disaster. I'm about to use it as an analogy in our mortgage commercial. Buying a home right now can be hard. Bidding wars, lack of inventory, rates going up and down. It's easy to have your new home dreams toppled. At United Faith Mortgage, we can't easy fix those hurdles, but we are good at making the mortgage part awesome. We pay $1,000 of your closing costs on new home purchases. And we're an arm of a bigger company who is a direct lender. Our company uses its own money and there's no middleman, which often allows us to get you a better rate, saving monthly and lifelong money. We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Mortgage Corp, Melville, New York. MLS number 1330. Department of Banking. Mortgage Lender License number 22672.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-940-6161. That's 1-800-940-6161. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-940-6161. SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred.
If you can fix the big stuff, you can fix the small stuff. The Mechanical Services Company has fixed HVAC systems large and small for over 100 years. For fair treatment, expert service, and affordable solutions 24/7, 365. Find them online at tmschvac.com.
The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred.
In particular, in the countries in Latin America, you don't just address any one thing. You have to address a multiplicity of things, like providing nutritious food. You've got to have nutritious food in your body to be able to grow, to think clearly, to learn, etc., to stay healthy, of course. Safe shelter is another big one for families. It is such a critical aspect for children and their parents to have shelter that is clean and safe. They're off of the mud floors, away from infectious disease and parasites and these kind of things. Clean water is another also that, gosh, we all heard about intestinal issues and other diseases that are brought on by dirty water. And addressing clean water is so vitally important also. You know, spiritual development is just core. It's so foundational to what Cross International does with our partners and all the people that we get a chance to interact with around the globe. You know, those people that are so vulnerable, both economically but also spiritually.
I'm into that. I mean, vulnerable, right? Economic and spiritually, Tommy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kelly Miller, president of Cross, say a prayer for him. He's a little under the weather today. So we just, I hate when we see our leader, and he's down, on his back. I hate seeing that, but just say a prayer for him. But Kelly was sharing there about the important aspects there in Latin America that we're trying to help with through our partners. And, I want to just, for a minute, he mentioned clean water. Mm-hmm. And I said it yesterday, when you go to these villages that have never had a clean water source, it's hard to imagine for us in the United States. But, I'm sitting here by my mic, and guess what I bring with me? Every time to the studio, I've got a bottle of water. And we don't think twice about it. Except here about 2 weeks ago, we had a boil order in my home city. And people went berserk, and I sent my assistant to go find water so we could have some in the office here.
Yeah.
She texts me, she goes, there is no water anywhere. The shelves are empty. People freaked out when we had a boil order, and it was about a day and a half.
Really?
And they freaked out. Clean water we take for granted, don't we?
Sure.
And I often share, guys, that when you go to a village and we have these ministry partners that are telling us how desperate they are for clean water, you can't get them clean water fast enough. You cannot tell a child, an adult, a family, a mother, a father. You can't talk about the living water if they're drinking water that kills them or makes them deathly sick. Right. You can't do it. Just like you can't talk about the bread of life unless you're feeding them bread that gives them life. And so with your help today, guys, we can do this. And it's a one-time gift of $64 for each child. 866-806-2977, 866-806-2977. We've had 10 or 12 kids that have been added in the last little bit. Sandra, thank you again in Pittsburgh, taking care of 4 children. Wonderful. Love it. We had challenged 25 of you to rescue 4. She was the first friend to do it. Mary Lou, thank you, thank you, thank you. 2 more children. Joseph, God bless you, another child. Diane, thank you for your gift for 2 children. That's how it's going to get done, guys. That's how it's going to get done. The phone number, 866-806-2977 here on our final day together. In fact, the final show that I'm going to be able to be with John and Kath. And just really love you guys. Appreciate you so much. God bless you. Hey, John, Kathy, I love sharing this story about Carlos Vargas and his hospital. And I remember going to Zacapa on one of our trips, and we saw this massive steel building that was going up. It was just huge. And I said to him, I said, what on earth is that? Because when you go to this, to Hope of Life Ministry compound there in Zacapa, they've got schools. I mean, they've got tilapia ponds where they teach people how to have a tilapia pond and raise tilapia.
Cool.
They have a greenhouse program where they teach people how to raise items in the greenhouse, and half of the greenhouse is to sell, right, for business. The other half of the greenhouse is to support their family.
Wow.
And I mean, that's the kind of ministry partner he is. They're creative. And I said to him, what is this building going to be? He said, well, let me explain to you what it is, why it is, and how it came into being. He said, when we rescue children from the mountains, and they rescue between 3,500 and 4,000 a year, infants and babies, that honestly have been abandoned. It's brutal, you guys. It's brutal. And I've been on those rescues, and I've held little ones that were near death. And it's brutal. And I thank God for Carlos. I thank God for his heart. I thank God for his vision. And he's just one of many partners that we partner with in these nations that have incredible vision. But we're standing there, we're looking at this. He said, when we rescue the babies, they're so critical when we bring them down from the mountain that often we have to drive them to Guatemala City, and it can be anywhere from 8 to 13 hours. Wow. There's only one road between Zacapa and Guatemala City. And guys, it's a rough one. I've been on it many times. It is not fun. And so he said, sometimes what happens, we lose the babies on the way. we lose them. And he said, we're not going to lose any more babies. That building is our new hospital, and it's going to be complete within the year. Well, I got to tell you, I was blown away by his vision and his heart to not lose any children. And he said, do you want to hear who the architect of that hospital is? I'm going to let you listen to the audio that I recorded. I grabbed my microphone, and I want you to hear, Word FM family, who the architect of that hospital that stands complete today, who it was. Here he is.
We've seen some that became architects. The architect that designed our hospital is a child that we rescue. We have all kinds of professional children that we rescue, and they made it in life.
Did you catch it?
Yeah.
Did you catch it? A child that they rescued was the architect of that hospital. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, guys. It's not some piece of junk. It is a beautiful, beautiful facility. Equipped with full emergency facilities and high-tech equipment, the ability to save lives is incredible. And I've been in it, and we've delivered babies that were near death, and their lives were saved.
Really?
And you know, often it's a nutritional issue. Often. And so nutrition is important in that aspect of his ministry, as well as the 30,000 he feeds every single day. Could you join us by picking up your phone and just saying, yes, I'm in? 866-806-2977. Guys, you're part of this team. You're in a very, very important part of this team that goes to work to rescue children. 866-806-2977. Some of you listening, you say, man, it must be really something to go on those rescues. Yes, it is. But it will rip your heart out. I'm telling you. It will rip your heart out.
Yep.
And that's kind of the rough side of it. The beautiful picture that gets painted is when children get rescued and they're thriving. And the mother that was near death herself is thriving. And they're in school and they're learning about Christ and they're learning academics and they're sharp and they become architects and doctors and dentists and lawyers and all of these things, guys. You heard him say a lot of children become professionals. They're brilliant. Would you support that right now? 866-806-2977. There's somebody listening that can give for 100 children right now. There's somebody else listening can match what Pete did earlier with 50 children. There's those 9 friends I'm challenging you to prayerfully consider, please, in this last broadcast that we have, to become a world changer with a $1,000 gift or more. And by the way, that's 16 or more children. John and Kathy are going to give you the number and the way to give. Let's see if we can just put these phone lines to work. Let's send a tsunami of love. That's what I like to say. A tsunami of love into the Cross International Call Center with your gifts, your love, your prayers. 866-806-2977.
Fabulous. Well said, Tommy. It is our final hour and 10 minutes on air with Tom Lewis from Cross International. So I would suggest you don't wait. If you've been thinking about this, praying about it, now's the time to step forward and join us at 866-806-2977. Of course, online at wordfm.com. Join us. Time is of the essence here, so please join us today.
When it's time to replace your roof, siding, gutters, and downspouts, entry doors, and, of course, windows, you can count on Windows R Us, the area's premier exterior replacement company. This is John Steigerwald. With over 50 years' experience in the home remodeling industry, Windows R Us offers repair and replacement for all your exterior home projects. Why pay double with some other companies? Windows R Us will always give you the best price on the best in-class products, backed by the best warranties in the industry, all with zero sales pressure. And speaking of zero, Zero? Right now, get zero interest financing for 12 months and no processing fee with prices set to increase on all exterior products. Lock in your quote today. Schedule a free estimate and inspection today at windowsrustpittsburgh.com. You've tried the rest, now try the best. windowsrustpittsburgh.com.
Windows R Us. You've tried the rest, now try the best.
In the good old summertime, in the good old summertime. It may sound a little corny, but it really is the good old summertime at the Springhouse in 84. The sun is shining, the cows are out on the pasture, the sweet corn is almost ready, the Springhouse produce tables are filled with freshly picked vegetables, and we're up to our elbows in ice cream. And you know what? That all makes the Springhouse a very fun place to be. Why not jump in the car right now for a country drive to 84? Come for homemade lunch or supper, or just to eat ice cream and enjoy sweet country air. Be sure to take home our famous chocolate milk and baked goods. Don't forget that. We're just 4 miles east of Washington on Route 136, and it doesn't take long to get to us. Call 228-3339 for more directions to the Springhouse in 84.
The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred for all mechanical systems, heating and air. Our team has got you covered. Maintenance, service, installs, and repair. Call us when you need comfort. Online at tmschvac.com. The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred.
I think what excites them the most is that their children are happy.
Cara Bell, principal at Jubilee Christian School in Mount Lebanon.
When the children come into school, they love it. And oftentimes they're super excited when they leave because they don't want to leave. You know, it's always, bye, Mrs. Bell, see you tomorrow. I mean, they're just always happy. And I think that makes parents happy. You want to see your children have a passion for education. We want them to enjoy learning.
Imagine, believe, achieve. Jubilee Christian School, K through 7th grade, now enrolling for the fall at jubileecs.org.
Hey, thanks for being with us. Just a few minutes before we have to break. But as we've been saying, this is our final hour and 5 minutes with Tom Lewis from Cross International.
Right.
So time is of the essence.
Yeah, and if you're looking to make a difference, it can be overwhelming, like I said in an earlier segment, to just think about the big picture. But Tom has done a good job of giving us little snippets of individuals' voices and individual stories. And that's the thing that I try to keep in mind when we're doing a campaign like this, is to not think about, okay, well, you know, this is, we have catastrophic issues of government or catastrophic issues of economics or whatever it is, and just think, okay, but what about, how could I help that person who's living in that circumstance right now? Right. And so we ask you to call at 866-806-2977. You can also go online to wordfm.com. There's a banner at the top of our homepage that you can click on and make your gift there. But listen, $64 is going to help. It's a one-time gift that helps a kid with food, with Christian ed. And if you have more than $64, then we would gratefully receive that. You might have $640, and that would support 10 kids, or you might have $6,400 that would support 100 kids. Whatever it is that you have, we're just asking that you share some of the bounty of what you've got with kids that just don't have anything. And we're happy that Tom Lewis is with us again and kind of giving us a window into place other than ours. Tom, give us the latest.
Hey, update. Linda in Pittsburgh, thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Child rescued just now. Mary Lou in Pittsburgh, thank you. 2 more children rescued just now. That's 3 more. Just see how quick it happens on the web. I want to say thank you to Alan in Ligonier. Thank you for your gift. God bless you guys. So a couple of easy ways to give today. One is on the phone, and they'll get you on and off really quick. 866-806 2977 866-806-2977, wordfm.com, where a lot of friends are giving on the web as well. And by the way, if you want to give your gift in memory of, in honor of, maybe you want to give in honor of your kiddos or your grandkids, I believe there are some business leaders listening. And you see, from our company, we'd like to share a gift that's going to make a kingdom impact in a place that, most people forget about, right? Forget about. Mm-hmm. I think of the children that I have met and seen in these areas, guys, that are known as the forgotten ones. Every time I hear that, it rips my heart out. And you say, what do you mean forgotten? They're born, every day kids are born in the mountainous regions like around Zacapa and John and Kath. There's no birth certificates. There's no hospital records. Kids are just born and they're there and they need our help. And the moms need our help. And so our partners, that's why it's so important. Our partners know where they are.
So why don't you join us?
Where the greatest needs are.
And tell me we got to break away. So join us right now at 866-806-2977 or wordfm.com.
101.5 WORD-FM Pittsburgh. On your smart speaker by saying, play the word Pittsburgh. And on your phone via the Word FM mobile app, iHeart, TuneIn, and Odyssey.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The January 6th Commission is set to convene its fifth round of hearings at this hour. Bob Agnew with that report.
John, today's focus will be on undue pressure Democrats say former President Trump put on the Justice Department to intervene in the 2020 election after he said irregularities cast doubt on the outcome. House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy says the panel is simply focused on an issue the public doesn't care much about.
The public is focused on why is inflation so high? Why is the border insecure? Crime is rising. Everything is costing more.
And, John, this will not only be the final round of hearings for the week, but for the month of June as well. Democrats announcing yesterday they're processing a lot of new material that will force them to postpone next week's scheduled hearings until July. Bob Agnew reporting.
The Dow had 34 points and the NASDAQ 106 higher. This is SRN News.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3388 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3388. Enjoy.
Business owners and entrepreneurs, would you like to have $50,000 in corporate credit? How about getting your credit score over 750? For over 40 years, Ray Reynolds has helped customers get millions in credit. By using corporate credit, you can finance a business, buy real estate and stock under a corporation. Take advantage of numerous tax write-offs only available to a corporation. Go to raiswebinar.com now to book a free webinar and get over $50K in corporate credit and get your credit score up to 750. When you attend, ask Ray about the $1,000 cash credit within days. Go to raiswebinar.com. That's raiswebinar.com.
If you are 65 or older, you know this. It's really frustrating to deal with out-of-pocket medical expenses, watching your hard-earned dollars just flying out the window. Well, here's something that can really help, and it's worth taking a minute to look into. Medi-Share has a new option called Medi-Share 65 Plus. Medi-Share is a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills. And it really is a community. People encourage and pray for each other. And Medi-Share 65 Plus is a low-cost option for those with Medicare Parts A and B that fills in the gaps where Medicare stops. You can lock in one low monthly price for up to 10 years. It's great for peace of mind. You can use your Medicare-approved doctor and get prescription savings, dental and vision savings. Very worth looking into, and it's so easy to find out why people rave about the customer service at Medi-Share. They're great to talk to on the phone. Here's the number. Call 833-SHARE-55. That's 833-SHARE-55. 833-SHARE-55.
Eden Christian Academy invites golfers of every age and skill level to the Warrior Golf Classic, August 15th at Treesdale Golf and Country Club in Gibsonia. Come for an amazing 18 holes, delicious food, skill contests, and more. Proceeds will benefit all Eden students, enabling the Academy to pay off its third student transportation van, plus make upgrades to the upper school weight room. Register your foursome or play as an individual. Not a golfer? Become a sponsor. The Warrior Golf Classic, August 15th. Sign up now at EdenChristianAcademy.org.
Clear skies expected for tonight with a low of 56. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. Tomorrow's high 83. Clear skies tomorrow night with a low of 60. Saturday will be warm with plenty of sunshine. We'll reach a high Saturday of 88. Mainly clear Saturday night, low 68. Intervals of clouds and sun for Sunday. It'll be warm and more humid with a thunderstorm in the area, mainly later, the high 85. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Drew Shannon.
The following program is sponsored by Cross International. Welcome to another edition of The Ride Home with John and Kathy, live from the Salem-Pittsburgh studios. And now, here are your hosts, John Hall and Kathy Emmons.
Hey, good afternoon. Thanks for being with us. A gorgeous Thursday afternoon across western Pennsylvania. Happy that you are with us. Kath, good news. Bucks won.
Celebrating a Bucko victory.
Very nice
Exciting.
indeed.
I'm hoping that Key Brian Hayes is okay after a collision at the plate.
Right.
To end the game, but he was booking it, man.
Sure was. So it's good to see. I mean, a young team coming up with a win.
Something's happened to me over the last 2 weeks. I've become very excited about the team.
Because they look good. There's a bunch of young kids out there playing hard.
I love it.
Right? Yeah.
I really love it.
Anyway.
So happy to be rooting for a team that has some potential in the future.
Some
let's put it that
mojo,
way.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of mojo, Tom Lewis is with us from Cross International. It is our final hour.
And we're looking for mojo in this hour.
Tommy, how are things?
Well, things are good. I actually wore out my last Pirates T-shirt.
You wore it out?
And looking for a new one. I
All
don't
right.
know if that's...
Well, just come here and
come
get
to
one.
Pittsburgh.
Bailiwick, but, I could sure use a new one.
All right. We miss you. We need
saying. I'm just saying.
We
Just
need to
saying.
get you one, right?
I know. I'd rather be at a game with you guys. So
Well, we agree. 100%, yeah.
I'll tell you what's fun is seeing the phones ring, the web gifts popping up, guys, and so we're just right there, just a smidgen under 200 kids to go to rescue this hour to reach our minimum.
Excellent.
So thank you. It's so amazing to think. This is not going to take hundreds of us, right? This is going to take a few of you just simply saying yes to 2 children with a $128 gift, 3 children, $192 one-time gift, 4 children, I'm thinking of 25 friends to give a gift of $256, which is probably a third of your car payment. Yeah, I know. They're up there. But 4 children you could rescue, and feed them for a full year and literally rewrite their story for all of eternity with a $256 gift is pretty amazing. Now, still looking for 9 World Changer gifts of $1,000 or more. That's 16 or more children. This week we've had 3. We had one friend gave for 16 kids. We had one friend give for 20. We had a friend this morning gave for 50. And I like to say, get in where you fit in. So if it's 1 child, thank you. If it's 100 children, God bless you. The number 866-806-2977, 866-806-2977. Go ahead and call right now, or wordfm.com, in our final hour of our campaign. Guys, I love our partners with Cross, and I've been in many nations with Cross, Africa, Latin America, and the partners that we carefully select are all amazing. They're all amazing. One of our partners in Gonaive, Haiti, his name is Emery, and I love going to Emery's house because they love Jesus, and they're from Georgia, and Emery's wife, Mary, man, she knows how to make lunch. I mean, even in Haiti, she knows how to do it, Southern fried chicken and the whole thing. And we were having lunch with them, and I learned something about Emery that I didn't know it was a story that I want to share with you guys. And this will really show and convey the tough stuff that our partners do, and their heart. Emery was telling us about a little boy that they discovered in one of these really rough areas where they bring hot food. Little boy was near death. Said he had every disease imaginable. Sick, skinny, frail, skin and bones. And they found him. And I said, Emery, what'd you do? What did you do? Because listen, God, there was no hospital near there. There was no medical clinic near there. I said, what did you do? And he looked at me and tears began to come down his face. And I'll never forget as he shared the story with our team of how he picked that little boy up, put him in his vehicle, and brought him to their house, and laid him out on a couch. It was in their meager little living room, and covered him up with a blanket just to give him comfort, just to give him hope in those final minutes. In fact, literally maybe a couple of hours before he left this earth. And they just knelt beside him and prayed for him and loved on him. And there was nothing they could do to save that little guy. Guys, that's the heart of our partners. That every child matters. So if you are listening, you say, Tommy, I hear a lot of friends giving for 2 and 5 and 10 children. Yeah. I could give for 1. Just know this. That child that you rescued today will suddenly have hope in a future. 866-806-2977. Please don't wait. Because listen, guys, these kiddos, they don't have time to wait. Let's not make them wait. Let's end their suffering right now by saying you matter, you're not forgotten. Here's food for the next year. Here's Christian education, which is something they so desperately want to go to school. They know that they'll never make it. They'll never thrive without education. And I love the fact that the door to Christian education is open to them when you make your gift. 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977. WordFM.com. Hey, John, Kath, wouldn't it be fantastic to see 20 friends pick up the phone and call at the same time and just give your best gift?
Fabulous. We know that you're out there. We know right now that thousands and thousands are listening to us. And so we are always grateful for your time that you spend with us. We don't take this for granted at all. But there are times like this when we know the urgency of the moment where we call out to you and say, please, will you not respond in kind? Now, of course, we know it's difficult times, right? Inflation's run away. People are tightening their belts in many, many different ways. We've not done this in a long time. I get all of that. But the urgency of the message that Tom is laying before us, is that children are in dire need. We know this to be true. Haiti, Guatemala, Nicaragua, there are thousands of children right now who need our assistance. So we're not asking you to lift the whole load. We're just saying do what you can do. We know that there are thousands out there. Don't wait for someone else to pick up this load. Let it be you. You've thought about it. You prayed about it. This is our final 50 minutes on the air. Final 50 minutes. We need your help. 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977, of course, easily at wordfm.com as well. The basic is $64 to feed a child for a full year and to educate a child for a full year, plus a well in the child's village, water, clean and fresh forever. All that for your participation. Maybe you can do one child for $64. As Tommy says, people have joined us all over the map. 5 children for $320. 50 children earlier today for over $3,000. Where are you? How has God blessed you, and how can you pass that blessing along? Join us as our clock is ticking and the urgency is upon us on this gorgeous Thursday afternoon across Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania. I'm blessed. You're blessed. Let's show our best to bless others. 866-806-2977.
101.5 WORD. Dr. Michael Youssef.
You can know all the passages about forgiveness of my heart. You can recite the words of the Lord's Prayer, forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us, and you can recite it 10 times in a day. But if you do not understand the practice of forgiveness, I want to tell you, all means nothing.
Be challenged this week on Leading the Way.
Tomorrow morning at 6:30 on 101.5 WORD.
Doug. Chances are you're jamming in your car right now. And since Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance so you only pay for what you need, Limu and I are going to show you some safe car dance moves. Hit it. Everybody, check your blind spots real quick. Now hands on the wheel. Put them 10 in 2 and move your head like a bird do. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred.
If you can fix the big stuff, you can fix the small stuff. The Mechanical Services Company has fixed HVAC systems large and small for over 100 years. For fair treatment, expert service, and affordable solutions 24/7, 365. Find them online at tmschvac.com.
The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred.
The Ron Burgundy Podcast is back. Join America's favorite anchorman for the 5th season of his hit comedy podcast as he delights a live audience with celebrity interviews, juggling skills, and humorous musings that leave you wanting more. Experience Ron Burgundy as you never have before.
I'm afraid of Jell-O and wild boars and Canadians.
Listen to the Ron Burgundy Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Eden Christian Academy invites golfers of every age and skill level to the Warrior Golf Classic, August 15th at Treesdale Golf and Country Club in Gibsonia. Come for an amazing 18 holes, delicious food, skill contests, and more. Proceeds will benefit all Eden students, enabling the Academy to pay off its 3rd student transportation van, plus make upgrades to the upper school weight room. Register your foursome or play as an individual. Not a golfer? Become a sponsor. The Warrior Golf Classic, August 15th. Sign up now at EdenChristianAcademy.org.
Listen on your smart speaker at wordfm.com, the Word FM app, iHeart, TuneIn, and on Odyssey. In your car or at home, too, at 101.5 WORD FM, Pittsburgh.
Are you hiding an addiction problem? You don't know where to go or who to talk to? We understand. Call Narconon for a free and confidential consultation. You don't have to go it alone. Call Narconon, 877-413-3073. That's 877-413-3073 or drugsno.com.
Well, as you know and are aware, the needs where Cross International works are so large and deep. This is what God has called us to do. And for those that are supporters of Cross, donors and prayer supporters with Cross, you're part of our family. You know, we do this together with God guiding us and with our local partners around the globe. Together, we are reaching some of the most vulnerable, at-risk children and families and communities on the face of the planet.
Yeah. Kelly Miller, president of Cross. And I love what he shared there, John and Kathy. We're doing it together. It's our partners. It's you guys here. It's our team. It's our staff here at Word FM. It's our wonderful listening family that have been so giving and so generous over so many years. Guys, it takes us all, right? So thank you for what you can do. The number 866-806-2977, 866-806-2977, wordfm.com. And I really appreciate whatever you guys can do. Thank you. If it's one child, God bless you. 2 children, 128. 3 children, maybe you just kind of waiting for us to give you the math. You know, 4 children is just a smidgen over $250, $256. All right, on your credit card, one-time gift. It is not a monthly gift. I want to stress that. Just your best one-time gift. 866-806-2977. And what does your gift provide? Food for a full year, spiritual development, Christian education, some other life-saving resources, clean water, a lot, guys, a lot. And the impact is deep. It truly is. 866-806-2977. Hey, John, Kath, I love this verse in Psalm 41. And it's actually verse 1. Psalm 41:1 says, "Blessed are those who are kind to the poor. The Lord rescues them in times of trouble." Man, I can't tell you how many times I've read that verse. The Lord rescues them in times of trouble, right? And so thank you. We talk about rescuing, and we mean it in the truest sense. You're lifting these little ones out of the dirt, out of the garbage heaps, out of the difficult situations they're in. And literally, I say the jaws of poverty has this incredible clamping. And jaws, when you talk about a trap, you know, that hurts, just a visual of that, right? It hurts. And we release them from the jaws of poverty with a 2-minute phone call and a one-time gift. What is it you can do to help us finish strong in our final hour? Still just almost just a little under 200 to go. I wonder if there's a champion right now listening that could give for 100 children. Maybe God has blessed your business. And you would say, you know what, from our company, from our practice, we'll step up and we'll join you with your 4th World Changer gift for 100 children. Maybe there's 10 of you right now that would prayerfully consider a gift of $640, and if you need to split that up over a number of months, you can do that. But 10 children is what God's laid on your heart to do. Maybe there's 2 or 3 other World Changers to give for 20 children, like a friend did earlier this week. But maybe you're one of 100 friends listening that can simply make a $64 gift and see to it that another child has hope, and another child is fed for a year, and another child gets to walk through the schoolyard gate. 866-806-2977, 866-806-2977. Hey guys, I want to share this story. I don't know if I've shared Charlie's story this week, but Charlie's just this awesome kid that was in Haiti, and he was in a really rough area with one of our partners. And Charlie was an extra special boy. And when we got to this village, we were bringing hot food to serve about 300 or 400 kids. And it was loaded in the back of these pickups, and it was really crazy. You should have seen me riding in the back of this rickety pickup, holding on for dear life, going over these roads. And I'm telling you, I missed Jim Beldice sometime. I thought I was going to bounce out.
Yeah, I laugh because I know it.
Ridiculous.
I've done the same thing, Tommy.
It was ridiculous.
Scary.
And so we get there, and the kids start rushing the trucks because we have food, right? And so they're starting to line up. Well, I saw this boy standing all by himself, and he was kind of off over here to the right. And I thought, that is so odd. Why is he not rushing us like all the other kids? And so I took a friend of ours, one of our partners, and walked over because I knew I was going to need an interpreter. And when we got there, this young boy it's hard to say, with their stunted growth, but probably 12 years old or so. And he had hydrocephalus. His head was enlarged and really, really quite large. And so through the interpreter, I said, ask him his name. I'd love to know his name. Well, when he did, we discovered he could speak some broken English, and he said, my American name is Charlie. And it was just funny. We just laughed. Charlie, where did he come up with that? And he had this crazy hat on, and he was just you can tell, he was just a fun kid. But we found out in visiting with him that all the other kids were afraid of him because they didn't know what he had. They didn't understand what was wrong with him. They just knew he was different. And they stayed away from him because they were fearful that they would get what he had. That's what we learned. And so, and of course that wasn't the case, but that's what they thought. So as we're setting up the feeding line, Charlie wanted to feed the other kids. He wanted to literally stand with us. And you should have seen his face light up as he put food in the bowls of the other starving children. He was one of them. And yet he stood there between Jim and I and literally was putting food in the bowls of hungry children, one after the next, probably 300 kids. And he did it with joy. And the food ran out. And it hit me that Charlie never had an opportunity to even take one bite of rice and beans in that day, in that setting. He never did. And I knew he was hungry, but he was so joyful in serving. And I thought, what a picture of what Jesus would do. Stand there and serve others. And the thing that hit me so hard, you guys, was the fact that those kids that were afraid of him and wouldn't come near him, he was so happy and honored to serve. That just really pounded me. And as I walked him back to this little desperate area where he was living, I put my arm around him, and he looked up at me. I'll never forget. He said, "You are my friend." And I said, "No, Charlie, you are my friend. Thank you. Thank you for what you did today." And I'll never forget him, and I carry his picture always on my phone, so I remember Charlie and the sacrifice he made. My friend, I don't know what sacrifice the Lord is laying on your heart at this moment to make. And I do know that it truly is a sacrifice. We get that. John gets it. Kath gets it. Yeah. I do. Christy, our producer, does. We get it. But I want to ask you, what has God done for you? How has he blessed you? In some of these crazy days that we've gone through as a nation, as a state, what has God done for you? Would you be willing to give back just a small portion? 866-806-2977 for one child, $64 for 5 children, $320, 10 children, $640, 100 kiddos with some leaders that are listening. $6,400 gift. 866-806-2977. John and Kath, I love the availability of the web. You can click the Cross International banner. Maybe that's easiest for you. And they can do it on the app too, right?
Mm-hmm. Tommy, it's a really touching story for any number of reasons. But, I mean, I can envision this little boy in my mind, the way you described him. And more than anything, I love that you have his photograph with you and you are able to reach back and think about him, you know, because I think in all of our lives, right, all of us have people that, you know, were part of us in some way in the distant past. And, you know, we think about these people and what it were that we could reach out and connect with them. You know, just, I've been thinking about you. How you doing? What's going on? And there's that boy. I mean, you'll not speak to that boy ever again. But by you talking to him and you painting the picture for us here, you just brought him to life for me. And so that boy is like thousands and thousands of other kids that are out there in this world right now who just need a little help, just a little push.
Yes.
Someone is going to be the advocate for that child. And so I'm thrilled that you're here today to be the advocate and to remind us that our job here is to lift those up who cannot help themselves. So thank you for that. It's really vitally important. We get, you know, I think like everybody, we see the world. It feels pretty brutal out there right now. It just seems like chaos. I can't control things. It's one bad story after another. You tell me about a boy here who's an outsider, who's got something that's totally different that kids are afraid of.
Exactly.
And then and he goes through that, and then, you know, he helps people. He's going to serve those who degrade him and are fearful of him. And then he says to you, "You're my friend." I mean, that's fabulous. That's really a beautiful thing. So here it is. It's 5:27. Tom's going to leave us here. Here's an opportunity. You think about the fear and that, you know, all that things that we're surrounded by right now. We get that. Do something good today. I guarantee you'll feel good when you do good.
Amen.
Save a child's life. Really. Engage a child. Wherever that child is, in Haiti, Guatemala, Nicaragua, other countries where Cross does excellent work. $64 to change a child's life for the better forever. For eternity. You bring that child food and education, ultimately new life in Christ. Isn't that why we're here? Isn't that why we choose to tune in today? So join us right now. 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977. Of course, in a heartbeat at wordfm.com. But do the good that we can today. And here's an opportunity. Please join us. We need to step away, but we'd love for you to be part of this. wordfm.com.
Stress. It never seems to end when you owe money to the IRS. What about the years of unfiled tax returns? Have you tried another tax service and gotten nowhere? Then you need Tax Alliance. Why? Years of being A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau with no consumer complaints sets them apart. Call 800-987-1054. That's 800-987-1054. Don't wait until the IRS attacks your wages, bank account, your home or pension, and even your Social Security check. Tax Alliance specializes in IRS tax relief programs, including the Fresh Start Initiative, which can finally free yourself from IRS debt. Their tax professionals can file returns, fight the IRS to substantially lower your IRS debt, or possibly even have it forgiven. If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes, have unfiled tax returns, or have a payment plan and are still frustrated, call 800-987-1054. That's 800-987-1054.
Tax Alliance, your tax resolution solution.
If you are 65 or older, you know this. It's really frustrating to deal with out-of-pocket medical expenses, watching your hard-earned dollars just flying out the window. Well, here's something that can really help, and it's worth taking a minute to look into. Medi-Share has a new option called Medi-Share 65 Plus. Medi-Share is a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills. And it really is a community. People encourage and pray for each other. And Medi-Share 65 Plus is a low-cost option for those with Medicare Parts A and B that fills in the gaps where Medicare stops. You can lock in one low monthly price for up to 10 years. It's great for peace of mind. And you can use your Medicare-approved doctor and get prescription savings, dental and vision savings. Very worth looking into, and it's so easy to find out why people rave about the customer service at Medi-Share. They're great to talk to on the phone. Here's the number. Call 833-SHARE-55. That's 833-SHARE-55. 833-SHARE-55.
The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred for all mechanical systems, heating and air. Our team has got you covered. Maintenance, service, installs, and repair. Call us when you need comfort. Online at tmschvac.com. The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred.
Ask Alexa to play the word Pittsburgh to hear us there. We're on your Google speaker too, plus iHeart, TuneIn, and on Odyssey. 101.5 WORD-FM, Pittsburgh.
New federal guidelines have nearly doubled the number of Black Americans eligible for lung cancer screening. Black men are the most likely Americans to die from lung cancer, and Black people develop the disease earlier in life than others. Insurance companies are required to cover these tests for those ages 50 to 80 who smoke or used to smoke. If that's you, talk to a doctor about lung cancer screening. For more information and to find a screening center near you, visit the National Lung Cancer Roundtable at nlcrt.org.
Clear skies expected for tonight with a low of 56. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. Tomorrow's high 83. Clear skies tomorrow night with a low of 60. Saturday will be warm with plenty of sunshine. We'll reach a high Saturday of 88. Mainly clear Saturday night, low 68. Intervals of clouds and sun for Sunday. It'll be warm and more humid with a thunderstorm in the area, mainly later, the high 85. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Drew Shannon.
Thanks for being with us. Tom Lewis is with us from Cross International. Here it is. It's 5:32. We are counting down and then trying to join us in our final half hour here on the air. Tom, things are how?
All right, 194 to go.
Okay.
To reach our minimum threshold. Now, here's what I want to suggest, and I've had people ask me this before. You guys know that we don't make money the issue.
Yeah.
We just don't. We make change lives the issue. Saving children is the issue.
Yep.
But I've had people say to me, Tommy, what's it going to take to finish? The answer to that is $12,000, about $12,000.
Okay.
And what's kind of interesting to me is every time we get to a moment like this, I think of the remaining world changer gifts that are there that have not yet been given. 9 of those at $1,000 takes care of most of it. Okay. Isn't that it? I mean, it's just how it works out every time. And I don't do that math. God does that. And so I believe that if you're there and you can do that, you can make that gift of a World Changer Impact gift of $1,000 or more, now's the time in our final half hour. But the financial need to reach all of these children in our campaign, what's left's about just a smidgen over $12,000. Somebody listening may say, you know what, I'll take half of it. Here's $6,200. I'll do half. Or maybe just make it for 100 kids, $6,400. So the number is 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977. I sometimes hesitate to put that out there because I think, people think, oh my goodness, I can't possibly do that. And we start thinking about the things that we can't do. But let me ask you this. What has God put in your hand right now that you could use? I was thinking of a little girl whose mother and father gave her coins every week to take to church in her little coin purse. And they taught her as a kindergartner to be just a good giver. And I love this story. And so every Sunday morning before they walked out of the house, her mom would say, honey, do you have your offering? And she'd say yes. And so proud, she'd open up her little coin purse and show her mom her change that she was given. They'd go to church. She was so happy to give and put it in the offering plate when it came by. And on one particular Sunday, a missions Sunday for this particular church, her mother had given her a few extra coins. And so she went to her daughter and said, honey, do you have your offering? And she opened up her purse and her little coin purse, and there was nothing in it. And she said, well, where's your offering? And she closed it just without saying anything, opened the little side flap, pulled out a $1 bill and said, hey, Mom, would it be okay if today I gave paper money? Isn't that precious, you guys? Mm-hmm. And when I heard that story, I thought to myself how powerful it is to consider what has God, our Heavenly Father, placed in your hands that you could use to bless and to lift up. And to bring hope and Jesus, the face and the love of Jesus through food for a year. Christian education. Oh, guys, I hope that you get how powerful this gift is. And by the way, it's fun to give. You're going to feel great. You're going to feel so joyful when you make this call. Tonight, if you need a little joy, all right, you're already happy because the Bucks won. But if you need a little extra joy on your way home from the game or just in general, I'd encourage you, pick up your phone. Make the best gift you can to Cross International at 866-806-2977, 866-806-2977, or wordfm.com. John, Kath, that's kind of the State of the Union, so we could sure use some friends to light up the phones right now.
Fabulous. We could use you right now to light up those phones. Again, don't miss this blessing. We know that, this is a strange time we're living in, but as weird as things are here in the United States, and we all feel it, right? Inflation, runaway, prices increasing. Imagine being in a third world country like Haiti and Guatemala. I mean, a very, very different picture to paint, a much steeper hill to climb. So if you've got a little extra margin in your life right now, please rescue a child's life. It's not an exaggeration or a hyperbole in any stretch of the way here. Children are waiting for some help here. There's no safety net that's available in Haiti. There's no safety net in Guatemala. There's no safety net in Nicaragua. And still the children are there, and precious and kind and sweet. They just like to have a helping hand. Join us, 866-806-2977, 866-806-2977, or online at wordfm.com. We'll step away, but as we do, please go to your phones or on the web.
WORD.
The tests are in. They came back positive, and I'm sorry, you have only a month to live. How would a call like that change your choices, your priorities, the way you live day to day? Well, John MacArthur's current study from Revelation could be that kind of priority changer. Join him for a look at When Jesus Comes on Grace to You.
Tomorrow morning at 7 on 101.5 WORD.
Inflation throughout the nation. From a gallon of milk to a gallon of gas, prices are skyrocketing. But the cost for term life insurance is actually going down. That's why you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider. Big Lou's mission is to protect you with term life insurance that you can afford, even in times of inflation. Take Jeff from Florida. He's 55, 6 feet, 300 pounds, and his diabetes control was not perfect. Another provider quoted him $500,000 of 20-year term at almost $500 per month. Big Lou found Jeff the same life insurance policy for $225 a month, a 50% savings. Even if you're struggling with health issues, call Big Lou at Term Provider. Heck, you might not even need an exam to get approved. For affordable term life insurance today, call Big Lou at 800-333-1750. That's 800-333-1750. Term life insurance rates are going down. Call 800-333-1750 or biglou.com.
The word around town is that Pittsburgh homeowners are choosing doing it right when it comes to their roofing, siding, and remodeling projects.
That's because since 1984, Doing It Right roofing, siding, remodeling continues to set the bar through clear communication and an installation that's second to none.
Doing It Right employs only the most experienced professionals to install and oversee your project.
They'll stop at nothing to ensure your satisfaction, doing business honestly, taking no money down and no payment until the job is complete.
Doing It Right will ensure all work is installed to the industry's highest standards, then back it all up with their lifetime workmanship warranty.
As a prestigious multi-award-winning Owens Corning Platinum contractor, as well as a VSI-certified installation contractor, you can't go wrong with Doing It Right.
Mention John and Kathy for a discount off your estimate.
Call 724-NEW-ROOF for a free project evaluation or visit roofingcontractorpittsburgh.com.
Research shows listeners don't like it when ads interrupt their music. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance, we made this ad optional. If you want to skip this ad, remove your left earphone. Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
If you're missing this informative ad, you must love wasting your cash.
It's the easy and smart way to save.
Now it's all been said, so if that earphone was out, put it back in your head.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, thanks for being with us.
Phones are quiet. I'm surprised by that.
Me too. We know this is our final 20 minutes on the air, and we've got a gigantic hill to climb. Tom, you painted such vivid pictures of the felt need for the children we're talking about. What can we do?
Tom, talk to us.
Come together. I think truly, just as a body of Christ, to do something to feel like, guys, I know you hear these stories and the magnitude of how many, in Latin America, 81 million children suffering, right?
I know, those numbers are just hard to get your head around.
It is. And sometimes I even hesitate to share, but guys, here's the thing. What we've seen, what John has seen, and Kathy has seen, and I have seen on our trips with Cross is transformation. And I think that's the biggest message that is so cool and so awesome that we can send today, is that when you give, total transformation happens of children. And, what they become is amazing. Let me give you the number real quick, 866-806-2977, 866-806-2977, wordfm.com. I remember the first 3 orphans ever rescued with Cross International. And guys, it was a girl caring for a brother and a sister, and she was 8, maybe 9 at the time, had a younger brother, younger sister, and she was the parent. She was the one that was responsible to find food and protect them from those who would hurt them and find clean drinking water and all the responsibilities that would fall on the shoulder of a mom in particular. And I remember meeting them. We got to meet them some 10 years later. And Marta is a medical doctor. Her brothers and sisters are all professionals in a trade. They finished school. They're doing awesome. And Marta especially, I was just blown away by her heart, because we asked her, you're a medical doctor, is amazing. God has really done amazing things in your life. I said, why? Why? And here's what she said to me. And guys, listen, she was so smart and such a good doctor that she could have left her village and went anywhere.
Really?
You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she stayed there because this is why this was her heart. She said, I wanted to become a medical doctor and serve my people because I knew that if I could meet their physical needs, their heart would be open and I could share Christ. That was her heartbeat. Those were orphan children rescued. And what they're doing to make a kingdom impact, guys, is powerful.
Yeah.
And so I share that story to let you know that any child that you rescued is going to have a story rewritten, and you're a part of it. 2 children, $128 gift. 5 children, $320 gift. 50 children, $3,200. Again, Pete, if you're listening, thank you this morning for giving that leadership gift for 50. The number 866-806-2977, 866-806-2977. Again, John Kath, maybe there's a business leader in these great communities who would say, you know what? I got my taxes done. I could have given away a little more to charity last year, and I'll just finish the work. Here's $12,000. Maybe somebody can do that.
Yeah.
It's happened before. Maybe it'll happen again. But more importantly, if that's not you and you're saying, Tommy, I know that's not me, and you're kind of laughing, would you be willing to sacrificially make that gift for 64 or 128, 192? Hey, I do want to say thank you to some friends that have been calling. Anita, thank you in Perryopolis, giving for a child. And Brenda in Wexford, thank you, giving for 2 more. George in Seminole, thank you. Rescue. Dee, thank you in Pittsburgh with your $100 gift. Thank you, Linda in Pittsburgh, also giving for a child today. Mary Lou, God bless you, giving for 2 children, some friends on the web as well. Sharon, thank you in Sewickley. 2 more children rescued. Albert, thank you in Coriopolis, thank you. A $200 gift. That's more than 3 kids. Alan, thank you in Ligonier, and God bless you for that gift. So that brings us up to speed. 189 children remain to our minimum.
192 children.
189.
189.
So here it is, 5:45. Tom's going to leave the air here in about 12 minutes or so. That's certainly a steep hill to climb, but God can do miracles, and we're relying on you to rescue as many children as possible in these final minutes that Tom is with us live on the ride home. So please, 866-806-2977, 866-806-2977.
About $12,000 away, John.
All right.
That's where we are. So that can be a whole bunch of little gifts. It can be a couple big gifts. We can look at it any way. We all know how the math works, but it just depends on what people can do and what people are willing to do. And so we thank you so much for coming alongside John and I as we bring these opportunities to you. And, as the months go by, we do all sorts of different things, like everything from, sending Bibles to persecuted believers to, digging wells to handing out Bibles to giving people an opportunity for food, helping starving babies, you name it. We kind of try to hit different things that would strike different people. And so if this is the ministry that hits your heart, which is what we've relied on all these years, different ministries hit different people's hearts. If this is the one that hits you, we just ask you to give today.
That's right. Please, won't you join us at 866-806-2977. Tom Lewis with us from Cross International. Tom, you've seen these children, and I know this happens to you, because when I've been with you and I've been to other countries, you see a child or 2 or 5 and you think, if I could just scoop you up and bring you back home to the United States, and here's the thing, the political football of, there is a line of people at the southern border waiting to come in. Now, say what you will about that, and there's certainly a lot to say about that. But these are the faces These are the kids. These are the families. So instead of the long line to the border, here we're saying...
meet them where they are.
Exactly. Where you are. Because, believe me, people don't want to pull up stakes and leave their family and everything that they know. They do so out of desperation because there is no other alternative. They're not coming here because, this is the easy thing to do. They're coming here because this is the only thing to do in many instances because they look at America, the bright and shining symbol still, the goodness that we are in this world. And they want to be here, and I get that. Of course, I want to stay here. I want to be here to my last breath. But there are many millions of children, and we're saying right now 190, 186 children waiting at that door. Yeah. Well, we'll meet them where they are. Can this be you? Whether it's a $12,000 one-time gift or $3,000 or whatever it is. We know the politics. We see the optics. But that's why we need your help. Because on the ground, this day and every day, Cross International is there, helping to feed and educate and ultimately bringing the truth of Jesus Christ into a hard and hurting world. And it happens because of your great generosity and kindness. So pause and take a moment, offer your prayers, and then take some action at 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977. We know you're out there. We know that you can hear us. So as you hear these words and the felt need that is upon us, let's all take some action and make sure that children live to see another day, that they're educated, that they're fed, and ultimately they know the gospel like you and I do. 866-806-2977. Please, won't you join us right now? Our waning moments with Tom Lewis from Cross International, of course, always online at wordfm.com. But the moments are slipping by. Take action right now as part of our broadcast family. 866-806-2977.
The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred.
If you can fix the big stuff, you can fix the small stuff. The Mechanical Services Company has fixed HVAC systems large and small for over 100 years. For fair treatment, expert service, and affordable solutions 24/7, 365. Find them online at tmschvac.com.
The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred.
My dad is one of my favorite people of all time. Sometimes my eyes feel rolly when he's giving advice, but I've learned more from Dad than anyone, like how saving a few pennies here and there can often be a big deal down the road. One of my favorite dad lessons was, if you're staying at a hotel and you can't see your car from your window, you probably paid too much. It's Ryan from United Faith Mortgage, and the mountaintop of my job is when we get to save good people, like Word FM listeners, some life-changing pennies. It's why we're so proud to have our direct lender advantage. Our team is an arm of a bigger company who is a direct lender. Our company uses its own money within its own walls, and there's no middleman. For you, this often allows us to get you a better rate, saving you monthly and lifelong money on new home purchases or refinances. If you'd like to chat, you could find me and Dad at UnitedFaithMortgage.com.
We pay $1,000 a year closing costs on new home purchases.
United Mortgage Corp, Melville, New York. MLS number 1330. Department of Banking. Mortgage Lender License number 22672.
Our real goal at RPTS is to train people for ministry.
Whether training to be a pastor or just wanting to grow in your walk with God, you'll find what you're looking for at RPTS.
We want to see them really grounded in their theological growth. We want it to be heart-directed as well. We want to see students prepared to serve and to love the people of God and develop ministries that we think have a great partnership with the local church.
Learn more about the MTS degree program and flexible online options at rpts.edu.
Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
If a super flexible schedule, great benefits, paid time off, and a signing bonus sound good, consider NAMS Transportation. NAMS has provided safe transportation to Northern Allegheny County and Pittsburgh seniors for over 40 years. Van drivers start at $17 an hour, sedan drivers at $14 an hour, plus a $2,000 signing bonus for part-time drivers and a $4,000 signing bonus for full-time. Must be 25 or older, no CDL required. Call 412-406-8611 today.
We are everywhere. On your radio at 101.5 WORD-FM Pittsburgh, at wordfm.com, the Word FM mobile app, iHeart, TuneIn, and Odyssey.
At the end of the journey on earth, we will be remembered for what we did for others, not for what we did for us. So I would tell anybody that listens to us, get involved. There's a child crying. They need you.
Yeah.
Get involved.
Carlos Vargas. At the end of the journey, what are we going to be remembered for, right?
Right.
It's going to be the things that have made an eternal impact, We want to hear the words, well done, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
I want to give you the number. It's 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977. And guys, I was thinking about how many times I have seen the unselfish hearts and actions of orphan children that have really impacted me. I mean, I thought of a little girl that was in one of the Divine Shelter schools outside of Port-au-Prince, and the fact that her brother would walk with her to school, and there was no scholarship, there was no money in the family, there was no way he could go to school, and so he stayed outside the fence while his sister was in school. He stayed there the whole day. And the heart of that little girl to bring him part of her noon meal that was meant for her, she'd bring it to the fence, and she would share it with him to make sure he got some food. And she would share part of what was meant for her. And the unselfish heart of that little girl. I think of another little girl that came through a feeding line, and I've shared this story many times. I'll never forget her. Her little eyes were barely above the top of the table, and when she put her little bowl up there, and I put food in it, how big of a smile she got. And I thought, she is just tickled pink to get this food, right? But what she did next, I wasn't ready for. She went over and sat down in the dirt, and with 4 other children around her, began to take that food out of her little bowl and put it into the bare hands of 4 other children that were waiting to make sure they got something that day. And I think God let me see these things, guys. These were God moments to demonstrate the heart of these children. It's not a selfish heart. They're pure hearts, and they love one another. And I believe that's such a picture that you and I should get a hold of and know that our hearts should be like that. Just to love one another. And even though they're in another part of the world, and, it's truly about an hour and a half jet ride from Florida to Haiti. I mean, they're really pretty close. Yeah. But the fact that they're there and we're here, the only thing that separates us is what? Geography. And so I pray that tonight, in these final moments that we have, you're going to do something to demonstrate the love of Christ in your heart and the love that you have, that God has put there for others who are suffering, others who are hurting, others who are hungry, others, frankly, who just simply need a chance.
Yeah.
And you hold the key. You hold the key. And it's in your hand, and it's called a cell phone. Would you dial this number, 866-806-2977? Or you can get on your phone and go to the website, wordfm.com. But in these final moments, see a giving frenzy from friends all over Pittsburgh and this greater area, guys, that just have a heart to love on these little ones. As many as you can. Maybe it's one for $64. Maybe it's 101. The number again, 866-806-2977. But help us finish strong. John Kath, I believe we can still do this.
Fabulous. I believe it too, Tommy. Let's finish strong. The call is out there to join us at 866-806-2977. Also, the web is up at wordfm.com. That's not going to shut down, as you know. And the 800 number, 866 number is going to be there as well. But, Tom, you've got a minute. We just want to express our gratitude and our admiration for the nature of the work that you do, because clearly your heart is so supple for these kids that you've talked about these past several days. And we greatly admire the work that you are doing in the front lines to save children's lives with Cross International. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, guys. You know, I'll just share this funny little thing. A friend of mine's retiring today, having a big party. And the number one question I get is, Tommy, you going to retire? And typically my answer is no. I'm not. I'm going to keep running. Yeah. So you guys are stuck with me. I mean, I hope that's all right.
That's excellent.
You're stuck
we like
with
it.
Me. And my passion for the little ones, I pray that passion is in your heart, my friend. Thank you, Word FM family. 866-806-2977, wordfm.com. John Kath, God bless you guys, and our Word FM family.
God bless you, Tommy. We thank you all. There is still time for you to join us, so please do. Think about it, pray about it, and then act to save children's lives with Cross International. Have yourself a good night, and God willing, we'll see you tomorrow.
The Ride Home with John and Kathy, a production of Salem Media Group.